Good morning children, welcome to social science class. Okay, in the last class we have studied about rocks and soils. This is geography lesson 1. Among them I taught about rocks alone, isn't it? Did you remember about what is rocks? Rocks is an aggregate of one or more minerals. What is rocks? Rocks is an aggregate of one or more minerals. What is the meaning of aggregate? Aggregate meanings what? Composition of rocks. One or more minerals. Okay, that is called rocks. There are three types of rocks. Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. What are the three types of rocks? Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. Okay, that igneous rocks are formed by the solidification of molten magma. Isn't it? These igneous rocks are again divided into extrusive igneous rocks and intrusive igneous rocks. Okay, that is sedimentary rocks are formed by the sediment deposited by various agents, that is wind, water, isn't it that way? So these sedimentary rocks are three types. What are they? That organic sedimentary rocks, mechanical sedimentary rocks and chemical sedimentary rocks. Okay, this what is metamorphic rocks? When the igneous rocks and the sedimentary rocks are subjected, undergo by the process of temperature, high temperature and pressure, it will form a new kind of rocks. That rocks are called metamorphic rocks, isn't it? Our Taj Mahal was built by white marble. That white marble also in which type of rocks? Metamorphic rocks. Okay, that much we have studied in the last classes. Okay, today we are going to learn about soils. All of you know about soil, isn't it? So soil is one of the important natural resources. Like rocks also important natural resources. Like rocks, the soil also very important natural resources. It is the basic requirement of plant growth. If one plant want to grow, it is a basic requirement of plants to grow and the formation of various life on the earth also is supported to form the various life on the earth also. So soil is very important. Our government, we are celebrating the World Soil Day is observed or celebrated on 5th December every year. Which day is we celebrated the Soil Day? 5th December. Okay, what is soil? Soil is a mixture of organic materials and minerals also. That like rocks, this soils also contain organic materials and minerals also. Okay, that it is contains various gases, liquid, everything. Okay, so it forms on the surface of the earth, isn't it? We can the soils on the surface of the earth. So it is known as the skin of the earth. Which is called the skin of the earth. The soil is called the skin of the earth. Which day is we celebrated the soil day? 5th December. Okay, don't forget. So these soils are produced. How the soils are produced? Soils are produced from rocks. All of you know soils are produced from rocks, isn't it? So how? Through the process of weathering and erosion, natural erosion. By the process of weathering and erosion. What is weathering? Weathering is broken down, broken into small pieces. So by the process of weathering and erosion. What is erosion? The process of removing the tough and fertile soil, that is called erosion. Mostly this erosion happens by water and wind. Okay, so that way, so the rocks are formed from the rocks by the process of water, weathering and erosion. Through the process of weathering and erosion. Okay, then what are the factors help to break down the rocks? Already I told rocks are broken and form the soils. So by the process of weathering and soil erosion. factors. What are the factors help to break down rocks? That is temperature changes, isn't it? That is temperature, wind, rainfall. Rainfall is very wind, rainfall, temperature, then pressure and chemical interactions and human organism also. That is living organisms, isn't it? All the living organism also main reason for the breakdown of rocks. So what are the factors help to break down the rocks? That is temperature, pressure, wind, water, chemical materials and living organism. This help to break down the rocks. Okay, it leads to the formation of loose materials. When the rocks are broken, it forms the loose materials, isn't it? Later on, the vegetative cover, the vegetations cover areas which developed in that regions form humus that content in the soil. What is humus? Humus is the decayed plant materials, isn't it? Enriching the soil, very rich soil, it is very fertile soil, isn't it? That decayed plant materials, that is humus. Okay. The formation of soil, we studied about how the soil formed, isn't it? By the rocks, by the process of weathering and erosion. Okay, that are the factors help also be done, isn't it? Now that the formation of the soil. So the formation of soil is a continuous process. Not it was a suddenly happened. It was a continuous process. 200 to 400 years. 200 to 400 years take to form a 1 centimeter of soil. If 1 centimeter of soil wanted to form means it takes how many years? 200 to 400 years. If a few centimeter of soils want to form means it takes nearly 1000 years. Okay, if a well prepared soil materials, okay, it takes about 3000 years. So soil formation is a long process. It is not a short period, it is a long process. Okay, what are the components? What are the part of soil? That means what are the components contains in the soil? Here that is minerals, organic matters, water and air. These are the 4 components of the soil. What are that? They are the minerals, organic matters, water and air. Here that minerals, it contains about 45%. We take the soil, mineral contains 45% minerals and 5% of the organic materials and 25% of water and 25% of air. Okay, that only about the components. Components means the part of the soil. Okay, are you following? Yes, okay. Next we can go to the classification of soils. The classification according to the formation of the soil, it was classified or divided into 6 major types. Okay, they are the alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, mountain soil and desert soil. Okay, what are the 6 classification of soils? Alluvial soils, black soils, red soils, laterite soils, mountain soils and desert soils. Okay. Now that alluvial soil, all of you know that is very good soil for the growing of crops. Okay. So these soils are the alluvial soils are formed by the deposition of silt. What is silt? Mud. Formation of the formed by the deposit of the silt by the running water. If the running water, that water flows, it carries the something, isn't it? Small stones, wood, piece of wood, sand, mud, everything. So then it deposited in place the mud, that is called the silt. Okay, it is the deposit of silt by the running water. These soils are formed by which regions we can found in this type of soils, or the alluvial soils we can found in the river valleys, flood plains, then coastal areas. That place we can found the alluvial soils. It is the most productive soil. That is, it is productive and it is very rich soil also. Okay, it is suitable for the cultivation of sugarcane, wheat, rice, and other food crops. Mostly all the food crops, growing the food crops, which soil is very important, or very suitable soil, alluvial soil. How it is formed? It is formed by the deposition of silt by the running water. Okay, next, black soil. Okay, that black soils are formed by the weathering of igneous rocks. Weathering or broken down of the igneous rocks. Already land igneous rocks are formed by the solidification of molten magma, isn't it? So that igneous rocks are broken and it formed the black soils. It is ideal for the growing of cotton. Ideal means good. Which soil is ideal for the growth of cotton? Black soil. How the black soil formed, or from which rocks the black soil is formed? From the igneous rocks. Okay. Next, red soil. That these soils are formed by the weathering of metamorphic rocks and crystalline rocks. So these red soils are formed by the weatherings of metamorphic rocks. The presence of iron oxide in this red soil, the presence of iron oxide makes this soil in red in color. So it is called red soil. But the red soil what contains iron oxide. Okay, it is infertile land. The red soil is infertile land. It is suitable for the growing of millet cultivation. Which is soil is suitable for the millet cultivation? Red soil. Black soil is for cotton. Alluvial soil is for all the food crops, wheat, rice, sugarcane, everything. Okay. Then laterite soil. That fourth soil is the laterite soils. It is formed by the process of leaching in the fertile soil. It is suitable for the plantation of tea and coffee. Okay, plantation crops, tea and coffee. Then what is leaching? Leaching is the process of removing the chemical and minerals from the soil. Removing the, like erosions, removing the minerals and chemicals from the soil. That is called leaching. Okay, it is formed by the process of leaching. It is infertile, that laterite soil is infertile like red soil also. This soil is suitable for the cultivation of tea and coffee. Okay, next, mountain soil. These soils are found in the mountain slope. Mountain soils are found in the mountain slope. Okay, the characteristics of this soil is different from region to region according based on the altitude. What is altitude? Height. Altitude means height. According to the altitude, according to the height, that the fertility of the mountain soil is different from region to region. Okay. Next, desert soil. This is otherwise called as the sandy soil. Sandy soil, it is found in the hot desert regions. This desert soils are we can found in the hot desert areas. It is also known as the sandy soil. Okay. So it is also in fertile soil. That this desert soil also in fertile soil. Okay. Next, soil erosion. What is soil erosion? Already I told erosion means the process of removing the top and fertile part of the soil by wind and running water. That is soil erosion. Okay. Soil erosion is the removable or the destruction. removal or destruction of the top layer of the soil by natural forces and human activities. By natural forces and human activities. Natural forces means that wind and water. They are the natural forces. That is soil erosion. It is reduce the fertility of the soil. This is soil erosion. Reduce the fertility of the soil. That running water and wind are the major agents of soil erosion. Okay, what is soil erosion? Very important. Okay, soil erosion is the removal or destruction of the top layer of the soil by natural forces and human activities. Okay, next is soil conservation. What is soil conservation? We want to protect. The protection of soil is called soil conservation. It's the process of protecting the soil from erosion to maintain its fertility. Okay, we protect the soil from the soil erosion and maintain its fertility also. That is called soil conservation. Okay, then what are the methods we can follow to protect the soil or for soil conservation? The method we can practice for the conservation of soil or afforestation. What is the meaning of afforestation? Planting more trees. Afforestation means planting more trees, construction of dams, then crops rotation, change the crops, and terrace farming and strip farming. Terrace farming, strip farming, and changing of the crops or the crops rotations, afforestation and construction of dams. These are the methods we can follow to protect the soil or soil conservation. Yes. Now we can learn about the layers of the soil. Layers of the soil. Here the layers of the soil. In your book we have that one picture also. That page number 91. You have one picture, page number 91. Okay. Here they are giving from here they are giving. First that we can go here. That R, the bottom they are written the R. R means unweathered part of bedrocks. The rocks, the small pieces of the rocks it is unweathered, not broken. That. Okay. Then C. C means weathered parent material. This parent rocks or the parts of the rocks or materials are broken. That is weathered. Weathered means broken into pieces. That is they mention C. Then it form the subsoil. B. B is the subsoil. This layer is the in what it reflects the chemical or physical alternation of parent materials. Here I told you this unweathered, not broken, unbroken rocks. Here it is in this layer it is broken. So these broken layers are here going to what the chemical changes, chemical and physical changes. That is B, subsoil. Then it formed the subsoil. Then alternation means changes, chemical changes and physical changes of part of the material. That is subsoil. Then E, elevated layer, elevated rising of it, rising of the layer. This layer is significant leached of clay, iron and aluminum oxide. It leached, removed the clay and some reaction is going that soil, that is it rise of the that is E, elevated. Then A, top soil. It is the part of the top soil. It is composed of organics and mineral matters. Organic and mineral matters composed in the A, top soil. Then O, O means humus. Humus meanings already told the decayed plants and animals, isn't it? So this is O soil. This is the first layer. When we see the layer, this is the first layer of the soil. It is very fertile soil. Here only it is made by the organic materials. Okay, it is very suitable for the growing of plants and other items. Okay, so this means only this layers of the soil. Once more, the layers of the soil. O means humus. It is the first or the topmost layer of the soil. It is very fertile soils. It is contains humus more. Then A means next layer. Next layer is the top soil. Okay, this it is a part of the soil. It is composed of the organic and mineral matters. This is top soil. It contains organic and mineral matters. It is elevated layer. This layer only some process is going. Isn't it? It is leaching of clay, iron and aluminum oxide. Leaching of the clay, iron and aluminum oxide. Okay. Then subsoil. B means here subsoil. This layer is the reflects the chemical and physical interaction. Okay, that physical and chemical changes interactions, it alternates the soil. So alternate meaning change. What are the changes? Physical and chemical changes are undergoing in the subsoil. Okay. Then next layer is the weathered parent material. The rocks. The parent material means the rocks are weathered, broken into pieces. After that, R is unweathered parent. Unweathered part of bedrocks or unweathered parent rocks. Okay. Not broken. These are the layers of the soil. Okay. Thank you.